Radio Shack FM!
Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to Radio Shack FM. This week on Radio Shack FM, I'm joined with
Harvey, Ruby, and Toby.
And today on Radio Shack FM, there will be news, weather, a song, 2 songs actually, Who's Red Carding Now, Hot or Not, Top 10, birthdays, and then it will be the end. Now off to Harvey.
Britain's tornado bombers are set to join the US-led operations in Iraq. 2 RAF jets are on their first mission over Iraq. David Cameron has to say sorry to the Queen. Prime Minister was overheard saying the Queen purred on hearing Scotland voted to stay part of the UK. In worldwide sports, Europe are winning the Ryder Cup right now by 5 points. Salisbury won 52-0 against North Dorset. And you know they battered them, Toby, don't you? Because you were there.
Yep.
And your brother was mascot, wasn't he?
Yep.
This week's weather is mostly cloudy, but a bit of rain on Wednesday and Saturday. Over to Ruby, the first song.
This is the first song, and it's I Will Never Let You Down by Rita Ora. That was our first song, and did you like it?
Yay.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Okay, and now for the one, the only. Who's red carding now?
Woo! Yeah!
Woo! At playtimes and lunchtimes, you may find a golden box to put your name in, and then put who you think will be saying who's red carding now, because we're going to get a member of staff to say red card. You can give your guesses, and each week on the radio we will pick out a guess, and if that guess is right, you may win a prize. So get your guesses in now.
Red card. Red card. Red card.
I hope you've been putting your guesses in the box, because I, Toby, am now about to pull out the first guess. The name of the guesser is Lily Day, and this guess hasn't been guessed before. It is Miss Size. I'm sorry, Lily, this guess was wrong. So carry on putting your guesses in the box, and hopefully next week you'll be pulled out.
There's no topic for discussion. Instead, we're going to interview Mrs. Morrison about the new build. Welcome, Mrs. Morrison. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
My question is, what do you think about how the new build is going? Do you think it's going to be finished on time?
Gosh, there are 2 questions there. Firstly, it's going particularly well, and yesterday I was able to actually go onto the site after all of you had gone home and have a look at how advanced it is. The roof is almost complete, the wooded part, and today they've actually started putting the slates on, so that means it will be really waterproof. And once it's waterproof and all of the windows are in, they'll then be able to start doing all the internal works, which is things like boarding out the walls, which is called plasterboarding, and then they have to skim the plaster over the top and make sure all the electrics are in. It's quite complicated. So that's coming along really well. And will they be on time or not? I'm hoping they'll be on time. And I've said to them, if they're not on time, I'm going to send a whole class full of children to their office on the first day in January. So they have a choice, 30 children on their doorstep or to get finished on time.
Do you like Harry Potter? Is that why you chose a common room for the year 6s?
Is that why I chose the common room? No, the common room was really listening to the year 5s and 6s saying that they'd really like to have their own space. And I know that Mrs. Johnson with the year 6 last year decided to have some time on a Golden Club Friday where the children could just sit and chat and read newspapers and things like that. And so it was the idea from the children. And we took that idea and thought, actually, for a couple of years, we're going to have a spare classroom. So the best thing we can do is maybe turn it into a common room and order maybe some magazines and comics and things, and time to allow a time where you could just sort of chat and socialise together in a really nice way.
My question is, can you hear the noisy building from your office, and does it distract your work?
Yes, I can hear it, but probably not as much as people who are adjacent to the noise, particularly Mrs. Thomas, whose class is right next door, and Avery class, which are opposite the building. But hopefully it hasn't been too much of a distraction, and that the quicker they get finished, the quicker it will all be quiet, and we'll have a lovely courtyard garden outside, and the building will be finished, and we'll have lots of children inside learning.
Was it difficult to decide where to build a new classroom? How much has it cost?
Gosh, it wasn't that difficult to decide. We looked at some different options, but really the main option was to take it in the place of where the mobiles were located. So the mobiles were lifted and taken out of the way so that we could take the new build through there. So it lent itself really well, actually, to have that sort of leg coming out of the current T shape of the school building. The second question of the cost, have you any idea as to what you think it might have cost?
About 100 grand.
Okay, that was probably the cost of one classroom. It was £1 million. Okay, in fact, just a little bit over £1 million to build those 4 rooms. But I'm sure it will be worth it when it's finished. You're all worth it anyway.
That is just a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can even pay for that anyway.
Well, we're really lucky, actually, that we didn't have to pay for it as a school out of our school budget. So if you imagine your dad at home or uncle might have a wallet and he keeps his money in his wallet and he's got a bank account, or maybe your mum has. Well, a school runs like that. They have a bank account, and that bank account, they have so much money in there, and they're able to spend that money on children's education. And sometimes we have to put that money into other things in the school. So, for instance, the Radio Shack that we're sitting in at the moment, we had to take some money out of our pot to be able to pay for it. But with the big extension, because it is such a large amount of money, and because Wiltshire Council needed the school places, because we're a school that's really rising in numbers, they actually gave us £1 million to be able to spend on the build. In fact, I think it will come in just over £1 million.
That's all we've got time for today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We will let you get back to your work now.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Okay, now it's time for the game that Ruby has made up, and it's called Hot or Not. And each of us will say something, and it's going to be like a random object, and we have to say if it's hot or not. And hot means it's really cool, and not means you don't like it at all. So over to Ruby.
My object is cameras. I think they're hot.
I don't think they are. Not.
No way, not.
I think they're hot.
I think they're hot because, you can get these really cool ones which are their lenses are really big, and all you have to do is twist the lens to make it zoom in, and you just have to click a button. Whereas on the iPhone, you have to go onto the actual camera and then wait for it to load and then press a button. It's just really annoying. So I think cameras are really cool.
I don't think cameras are cool unless they're on a proper an Apple thing, like an iPhone, because they've got better screens than long lenses. Well, my iPad has anyway. They're not that epic. I don't think there's any point of them.
I don't really think cameras are hot because the cameras, what if it's a 1980s camera that someone made on the toilet? That would be rubbish. But what if the iPhones are new, so they'll have good cameras, better than the 1981 made on the toilet?
I think cameras are hot because, like Ruby said, you can... I know what Toby said is because you can get, when it's on the iPhone, you get better focus and better screen because when you have, old ones, you can still get good focus as well. And then sometimes it goes blurry, then you just have to, keep your hands steady. But I think they're hot because on most of them you can get a limited amount of pictures, and you can get you can put videos on them as well, and you can send them to your best friends. You can put them on the internet, but not proper pictures that are private to you. But you can put funny pictures. You can put pictures that have got fake. You've got glasses on, and it's got a massive eyeball in it. So I think they're hot.
That's the thing. That's a camera. But to get them actually to use them, you've got to buy a cable, you've got to buy a laptop, you've got to buy the camera. But with an iPhone, all you do is you buy the iPhone.
You got to turn it on, and then you got to wait, and you got to
Go on the
app. But you got to wait, and you just press button.
Which one takes longer? Shopping to trying to find in Salisbury, trying to find a laptop, a cable.
But then, what Harvey said, you don't have to buy a laptop. You don't have to buy a cable. You might already have a cable at home because your mum might have a laptop, so you might just get a camera for Christmas because you might already have a cable because you might just have one for the laptop.
All right, let's move on. Xbox.
Hot.
Hot.
Definitely.
Hot.
Not hot. I think they're not hot because sometimes, I know this has happened to my cousin, my oldest cousin. He has an Xbox and a Wii and stuff like that, and he gets too used to it that that's all he does. Everything he doesn't do much. He doesn't do much work, and that's why we don't have Xboxes. We just have a Wii, and we're only allowed on it twice a week. And because it sometimes also it makes your brain think about it, and it happened to him once when we were on holiday. He had a nightmare about this monster game he had. And it's a bit weird, but it's only because he goes on it for too long, and it also makes your eyes go square sometimes. That's the saying.
See, the thing to stop you you do get addicted to it if you go on it 24/7, but because we're allowing it for an hour each day, and I don't really go on it anymore. I used to, but now it's good, but now you've got the Xbox One, you see how good that is. The Xbox 360's gone really bad. I agree with Toby, it does give you nightmares and stuff like that, so I'm going to say not.
I don't know, because I want to change my answer and I don't want to change my answer, so I'm going to vote for it in the middle. So this is my answer for hot. I think it's hot because it's to entertain children when they're bored, and it's to not make them nag their parents.
Ooh, I think the not's one then because you voted for not and hot.
I know.
I might change I think I'm probably going to go into the middle as well, because when I'm not on the Xbox, I'm rather on the Wii or playing football. The last time I played football, I had to go to the walking centre to get my eyes glued. So I'm going to vote in the middle.
So for my not, I'm going to just go for not, because sometimes you can do more stuff than just play on the Xbox every day. And you can play outside, you can go to the park. Instead of playing on your electronics, go outside and have some fun and do whatever you want outside, but don't bring your electronics.
But I'm going to say hot.
I'm going to say not.
I'm going to say hot because if someone is bored and they don't have anything to play with, then you can just go on the Xbox and it'll probably entertain you for about an hour or two. You can get a load of games for it, and I think they're hot.
Right. My one is, okay, this is going to be really cool. Radio Shack FM!
Yeah, that's hot. That is hot.
That is hot.
That's the hottest of them all. You cannot beat it.
That is hot.
See, even the teacher
Thank you, Miss
agrees with
Hollis.
us.
Even Miss Hollis said it was hot.
You never really get a teacher agreeing with you. But
Okay.
now you do.
I'm going to be honest. I think that Radio Shack FM is pretty hot, because mostly I think that...
Pretty hot?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Is that it?
really, 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 really... Do you want me to say 1,000 reallys or something?
Yeah, I do actually.
1,000 reallys?
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay. I think it's 1,000 really hot, because it's... I'm speechless. I can't say anything.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
we're on
us.
it right now.
We're amazing.
Right
We
now.
are.
We are on air, dudes. We are hot.
We've just had Miss Harrison, so we must be really hot.
Yeah, I think it's hot.
This is the next song by Ed Sheeran. It's Sing. Here we go.
Sing!
This is the top 10. Number 10 is the script Superheroes. Number 9 is George Ezra, Blame It On Me. Number 8 is Sam Smith, I'm Not the Only One. Number 7 is Iggy Azalea featuring Rita Ora, Black Widow. Number 6 is Professor Green, Lullaby. Number 5 is Robin Shall Pray in C. Number 4 is Calvin Harris, Blame. Number 3 is Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. Number 2 is Sigma featuring Paloma Faith, Changing. Number 1 is Jessie J, Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, and that is Bang Bang.
Love that song. Thank you guys for listening to Radio Shack FM. We hope you enjoyed it this week, and we will see you guys next week. Radio Shack FM is over and out.
Bye.
I've been Yasmin,
Ruby.
Toby,
And Harvey.
see you guys next week on Radio Shack FM.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.